Is April silver's month to finally break out of this symmetrical triangle pattern? Let's take a look at the charts. We'll also do gold and platinum and the gold to silver ratio as well. My name's Joe, and this is brought to you by Ainslie Bullion and the Gold and Silver Standard. Right here, you're looking at the tradingview.com website. It's priced in US dollars. We always do US dollars because it's the world's reserve currency. And we're currently looking at the monthly time frame, $23.85 roughly for silver per ounce. Of course, last week is it silver's time to shine. We had yet to break up through the symmetrical triangle pattern. We're around about here. If you can see that, it's around about $23.15. Roughly, right, 23.13 right there. And we had yet to break up. I'll show this on the daily time frame. But in the preceding few days after that, we did come up and we've touched a very clear resistance level around about your $24.15 level. It has not broken through so far. And I did say in this video last week that more likely I thought April was going to be the month for it to break out. I'm going to stay with that call for the moment. I think April will be silver's time to shine. I think April will be the month for silver, but what might invalidate that? Here is my opinion. I think we would need to hold, if we have a couple of more red days, a bit more of a sell-off, I would want to see it go no lower than $23.30 US cents. We'll pop it in round about there. We'll call it 23.25, 23.30. Here's my reasoning. Now, even if it gets down to 23.30, you could still, I think, quite easily break up and through in this month. But anything below there, not quite certain. Let me show the monthly time frame. Again, this is silver in USD. And what you'll notice is many times, very often, you'll have a fake out at the start of the month, and then it goes in the opposite direction. Now that works both in a bull market and in uptrends and in downtrends as well. The fake out is a really big thing, particularly around the start of particular time frames, the start of the month, the start of a new week, even on the daily time frame. It even happens on the hourly time frame, the 5-minute time frame, etc. There tends to be fake outs to shake people out of their positions. So, for example, this is very, very easy to see. Let's see right here, back here. What's this? July of 2019. It closed and then it opened for August. It had a bit of a dip. Some people think, I've got to sell, and then it just rip roars. So very, 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 very common for it to close, open the following month, have a dip, and then go in the opposite direction. And that's the same going down as well. But we're just talking about green candles at the moment. Take a look at this. It closes here, opens here, has a big wick down, and then there, closes, opens here, goes down, huge wick to the upside. And look at this one. Closes, opens, big move down, fake out, and back up. So that's why, even though we are technically red for this month so far, it's only the 4th of April. So we've got much more time in the month. There is absolutely no reason why we couldn't come down to around about this 23.30 level. And I'm using that level because of this resistance level in May, this wick in May of 2022. That's just the most common sense level of support based on the monthly time frame for me. Can you see that right there, that wick? That's why I've chosen 23.30, and definitely not out of the realm of possibility for the month of April to come down to 23.30 and have a bounce off there. So long as we don't break 23.30, you could bounce off there and very easily make new highs and break out of this symmetrical triangle pattern in April. Again, we're just talking about April for the moment. So $23.30 US dollars, $23 in US cents. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 23.30 in US dollars. Is the support level for me. Breaking down through there, then I would suggest then your level right here, I've talked about it before, of $22.50 would be the next support level. Again, this is on the monthly time frame, but I would suggest that if we break through 23.30 and we come down to 22.50, could certainly still be a very clear support level, but I would suggest then we wouldn't. If you take a look at this, it's more unusual that you have such a huge dip from a previous month and then continue on your merry way up. So I would suggest if we came down to 22.50 roughly, anything below that 23.30 area, we wouldn't see the break of the symmetrical triangle pattern in April. But what you could easily see, if that was the case, down to your sort of 22 to 22.50 level, and then break back up for the month of May. But for the moment, because we haven't broken 23.30, in my opinion, I'm going to stay biased to the upside. I think April is silver's month to break out above the resistance levels we've been talking about, the big infamous $26 level. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put a link above and below to this video. I'll try and find the time code as well to talk about why 26 is such a big level. And then from $26, you've got that $30 level right there. And just out of interest, my first target, which might be unrealistic to many people, but my first target of where we could potentially top out for 2023 in terms of silver is somewhere between 37 to 40 US dollars. And if we break out in April or May, you've got a decent amount of time, and particularly when some of these monthly candles are quite large in terms of their percentage gain, you've actually got not as much of a way to go as many people think. So I think that's definitely within the realm of possibility if we do break this symmetrical triangle pattern soon. So 37 to 40 was my sort of first realistic forecast. Some people are calling 34. I've heard that quite a bit as well. I'm going to stick with my 37 to 40 at the moment, and I'll put a link above and below to my 2023 silver price prediction as well, the realistic forecast as I entitled it. So that's my opinion on silver at the moment. Don't want to see it go below 23.30, and there's my support levels. I think it is still, as of right now, April's month, or silver's month for April. April is silver's month. That's what I'm trying to say. That is silver. Let's take a look at gold. 1,978. Wow, look at this. So last week, this is on the monthly time frame. Let's take a look on the daily right here. So we had been talking about this little symmetrical triangle pattern playing out. You did not want to see it break below here. What I should have really have said, and I did mention this in platinum last week, is I didn't want to see it close below this level right here, because we did see just in the last couple of days, look at this on the 4 hourly, that huge move right back down to $1,950 US dollars, that is, on the daily time frame back there. But you can see it's a very quick wick down, so it actually closed another nearly $20 above. So at 1,900 no, actually, sorry, it closed at $1,985. So in one day. So we opened at 1970 all the way down to 1950, closed at 1985. Seems pretty bullish to me, but we have so far maintained this symmetrical triangle structure, in my opinion. So let's take a look at it on the what you can see here on the daily time frame. We have been talking about, we have been in overbought territory since the 17th of March. Let's take a look on the weekly time frame. Okay, so you're pretty green on the weekly so far, and again, it's only Tuesday. So I will stay optimistic and positive for gold. That's a very quick move down from 1970 to 1950, and then closing the same day at 1985. So I'm going to stay bullish for gold at the moment, at least for the next 7 days. We are green at the moment. We've already had 2 red weeks. A green week is due. So question is, when do we break out of this symmetrical triangle pattern? As I've been talking about very, very often, it doesn't happen all the way at the corner here, so it won't take until the middle of April to do so. It'll happen round about no later than, I'd say, the 7th of April. So you've got a few days left in order for it to make its decision. If it breaks down below here, my next support level is at 1,900 US dollars, very clear support level, as you can see. And breaking above, of course, you would want to break the 2010 level. That's the recent high just on the 20th of March. What you might find is that we come back up to here, have a test of this downtrend line, and then once we test there and find that as support, then you're on your merry way. What are we talking about in terms of the next levels moving higher? Of course, you've got this level right here, 2070, the previous all-time high in US dollars, that is. So 2070, so I think you would very likely see that as an area of resistance. And one of the larger ones right here on the weekly time frame, we've talked about it quite a lot, is this uptrend line right here, a very long-term uptrend line, and that's intersecting at around about your $2,120, $2,130 level. But that's just, we're talking in the next, weeks and months, not days. So we just do want to see it break above and hold above this level right here. So that is gold. What we should look at the relative strength index just quickly. We did talk about, this is the weekly time frame, we did talk about the fact that we came into overbought territory, back down to the halfway point, and back up to test it. Is that a double top? I'm not so sure anymore. Look at it. It is curving around at the moment. Bear in mind, this is the weekly time frame, so this little part here will change as the price goes up and down until it closes for the week. So where it closes this coming week is very important. Is it, if it closes, and I'll show you right here, if it closes above this 70 line, then you're looking quite likely to head into extremely overbought territory, which means we're going higher in price. But just do bear in mind, of course, that on the relative strength index, we do go through periods of going through extremely overbought, and then you always come back down again. Always, always, always. So just bear that in mind. We've been here, we're back down here. Could spend some time extremely overbought. Might that take us up to third time's a charm, 2070 US dollars? Quite possible. So just keep in the back of your mind, we are getting into that overbought-ish kind of territory, but not quite there yet. So there is room to move higher with gold. I will leave it at that for gold. Let's take a look at the gold to silver ratio. We talked about this last week, and we certainly saw that move. So last week, I'll show you on the daily time frame. So Tuesday last week, that was Monday, that was the Tuesday. Yeah, we're around about that 84 something level. I was talking about this little rectangular box of between 80, where are we? 82.5 and 80.5 it roughly was. I was suggesting that we would come down to visit this range, and we've certainly done that. We have bottomed out so far at around about 81.5. That means that as this is going down, silver was outperforming gold, as you can certainly see in the price. What you can also notice in the relative strength index with the gold to silver ratio is that we have come down and touched the oversold mark, the beginning of the extremely oversold mark, right there at your 30 level. A little bounce back up as well, so keep that in mind. Could gold outperform silver just in the next few days? Quite possibly. Let's take a look at a resistance level, very clear resistance level right here. Again, your 83.5 level. We did sail through that. I did have that as a level of support, but we did sail through it, so therefore I thought this area might be one of interest. Certainly found support here. 83.50 on the gold to silver ratio is a level of resistance now. Quite possibly might we see a move up to there and then a continuing move down if silver does what we hope it does and breaks through the symmetrical triangle pattern. That is quite possible. I will leave that for the gold to silver ratio now. Maybe we just take a look very quickly on the weekly. Yeah, very clear move down to there. We went up to close to overbought territory. Could be moving down. I mean, the direction is down. We have seen this little uptick right there, but the direction, general direction, is moving down, and we haven't hit a significant support level. I would say the support level is right here. Can you see that? I hope you can see it, because I can see it too. Right there, you can see that at about 36. You can see a pretty clear level of support around that area, and once again here. So maybe we are moving on the weekly time frame downwards. So could we see a move up to 83.5 and then another red week moving down, therefore silver is outperforming gold. Well, that would match, depends what gold does, but that would match my thought that April will be the month for silver to finally break out of this symmetrical triangle pattern going all the way back to February of 2021. So that was the gold to silver ratio. We've done silver, we've done gold. Let's finally look at XPT for platinum. $983 at the moment. Now, we talked about last week this trend line right here and how it had yet to break through and close below this level right here. I was talking about the level of $970, wouldn't want to be broken. We did see that get broken. It came down to my other support level of $960 roughly. And since then, a nice little move back up. So I was incorrect in saying that breaking below 970 we would see lower prices. We did a little bit, that little support level at 960, but since a nice juicy move all the way back up to nearly that $1,000 psychological value. So that could potentially still be in play. On the daily time frame, on the relative strength index, we have had that move, as we've been talking about, all the way from extremely oversold. Let me show you that a little bit better. Extremely oversold. I'll get that out of the way. There you go. Extremely oversold. Again, that was back in February of this year, and we're very clearly in an upwards direction. So my bias for the moment will stay to the upside for platinum. Let's take a look at the weekly. What's that telling me? Yeah, clear bounce off, or very clear close bounce, I should say, off that 40 level on the relative strength index. And on the weekly, let's take a look at the candle. The weekly doesn't look great, I must say. The weekly doesn't look good. So look, there could be room to move down. I would suggest 960 is your definite line in the sand right there. You wouldn't want to break below there. Breaking below 960, you're going to come down to your 940 level. Can you see that as an area of resistance? Excuse me, I'll get rid of that. Undo that. So not looking good on the weekly. Let's pop on the monthly. Monthly time frame. Oh, again, okay. Look, again, there's no reason, particularly when I talked about silver just before, you can have times where you open and then have a fake out and then a move back up. I will, just to remain consistent, I will remain bullish for the moment for the month of April for platinum. I could absolutely fall flat on my face on that call because it's not looking great at the moment. Just bear in mind, again, like I said with silver, you're going to have very clear periods where you close a month, open it, have a huge big dip down, and then close higher and make new highs. So I will stay right there, as you can see. So a little bit slow at the moment. Psychological value of 1,000 we need to get through. So I'm going to say for the moment, I'll stay consistent and say April will be platinum's month as well. So I'm going to call it for the moment. Again, could fall flat on my face, but for consistency's sake, April will be a green month for platinum. Ooh, I'm going to be eating my words probably at the end of this month, and please post a comment below if I am wrong and just give it to me. But I'll remain bullish for platinum in the month of April. Definitely bullish for silver on the month of April. I think April is silver's month. Again, I've given you my reasons and I've given you my invalidation targets as well. And gold is looking good for at least this week. Tell me what you think. Post a comment below this video. Do you have different targets in mind? Do you think we're going in a different direction to which I am suggesting? Definitely post a comment below this particular video, and you're welcome to watch this one as well. And of course, I need you to subscribe to the channel. I want you to love, I want you to like, I want you to love the channel, but I want you to like and share and subscribe to the channel, of course, for the weekly technical analysis and all the other stuff that we do on the channel, including the weekly specials, new releases that we mention, of course, our weekend roundup, the amazing Gold Silver Standard Insights videos, which is interviews with professional analysts, etc., who really know what they're talking about in terms of sort of macroeconomic view of the world at the moment. And that's pretty much it. Like, share, subscribe, And balance your wealth in an unbalanced world. Take care, and we'll speak to you next time.